front of 35 Wall Street.
In front of 35 Wall Street.
Where there is an exhibit.
Where there is an exhibit.
Of the Nova Music Festival.
Of the Nova Music Festival.
AKA the place.
AKA the place.
Where Zionists decided to rave.
Where Zionists decided to rave.
Next to a concentration camp.
Next to a concentration camp.
That's exactly what this music festival was.
That's exactly what this music festival was.
It's like having a rave.
It's like having a rave.
Right next to the gas chambers.
Right next to the gas chambers.
During the Holocaust.
During the Holocaust.
This is beyond.
This is beyond.
What you saw in the zone of interest.
What you saw in the zone of interest.
So this exhibit.
So this exhibit.
Is nothing more.
Is nothing more.
Than Zionist propaganda.
Than Zionist propaganda.
To try and justify.
To try and justify.
The mass murder.
The mass murder.
Of the Palestinian people.
Of the Palestinian people.
That we see.
That we see.
Day in and day out.
Day in and day out.
Just a few days ago.
Just a few days ago.
U.S. and Israeli forces.
U.S. and Israeli forces.
Disguised as humanitarian aid trucks.
Disguised as humanitarian aid trucks.
Decided to invade.
Decided to invade.
Decided to invade.
Decided to invade.
A refugee camp.
A refugee camp.
In Gaza.
To save.
The same hostages.
The same hostages.
That they have been bombing.
That they have been bombing.
For the last 8 months.
For the last 8 months.
Along with the people of Gaza.
Along with the people of Gaza.
Over 200 Palestinians were killed.
Over 200 Palestinians were killed.
700 injured.
700 injured.
This is on top of.
This is on top of.
The 40,000 Palestinians.
The 40,000 Palestinians.
Killed in the last 8 months alone.
Killed in the last 8 months alone.
The U.S. built this port.
The U.S. built this port.
For so-called aid.
For so-called aid.
Or at least that's the lie they told.
Or at least that's the lie they told.
Instead they used it.
Instead they used it.
To further the genocidal mission.
To further the genocidal mission.
Of the Zionist entity.
Of the Zionist entity.
The massacre of 40,000 Palestinians.
The massacre of 40,000 Palestinians.
Is on Biden's hands.
Is on Biden's hands.
It's on Eric Adams' hands.
It's on Eric Adams' hands.
And even we are all complicit.
And even we are all complicit.
Because these are our tax dollars.
Because these are our tax dollars.
This is our government.
This is our government.
Claiming to speak for us.
Claiming to speak for us.
When committing genocide.
When committing genocide.
Against the Palestinian people.
Against the Palestinian people.
And let's not give the Zionists attention.
And let's not give the Zionists attention.
They would rather us talk about anything else.
They would rather us talk about anything else.
Instead of Gaza.
Instead of Gaza.
So they can continue to bury the truth.
So they can continue to bury the truth. الصهيوني برا برا. فلسطين برا برا.
الصهيوني برا برا.
والصهيوني برا برا. Confronting
Cultural institutions everywhere.
cultural institutions everywhere.
Like the Brooklyn Museum.
Like the Brooklyn Museum.
That pretended to be a safe haven.
That pretended to be a safe haven.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
But unleash the same fascist police.
But unleash the same fascist police.
To arrest and brutalize.
To arrest and brutalize.
Palestinian protesters.
Palestinian protesters.
Including myself.
Including myself.
A few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago. Palestinian genocide.
Maybe in 10 or 20 years.
Maybe in 10 or 20 years.
Well, we are facing a genocide now.
Well, we are facing a genocide now.
We don't want to wait for these museums.
We don't want to wait for these museums
to teach about our genocide.
to teach about our genocide.
After tens of thousands of Palestinians are killed.
After tens of thousands of Palestinians are killed.
Instead of speaking out against it.
Instead of speaking out against it.
Right now.
Right now.
Palestinians have been calling.
Palestinians have been calling
For a cultural boycott of Israel.
for a cultural boycott of Israel.
Along with financial and academic.
Along with financial and academic.
For decades at this point.
For decades at this point.
We are seeing Palestinians slaughtered in mass.
We are seeing Palestinians slaughtered in mass.
Paid for with our tax dollars.
Paid for with our tax dollars.
So our institutions.
So our institutions.
So our institutions.
So our institutions
Have a responsibility.
have a responsibility
To speak out against it.
to speak out against it.
Especially when there are so-called museums.
Especially when there are so-called museums
Like this one.
like this one,
Which exists only.
which exists only
To uphold Zionist propaganda.
to uphold Zionist propaganda
And justify additional slaughter.
and justify additional slaughter
Of the Palestinian people.
of the Palestinian people.
This exhibit is open.
This exhibit is open
For a few more days.
for a few more days.
Take autonomous action.
Take autonomous action.
Bring your crews together.
Bring your crews together
And come out here every single day.
and come out here every single day,
All throughout the day.
all throughout the day,
To let every person know.
to let every person know
That by supporting this institution.
that by supporting this institution,
They are furthering the narrative.
they are furthering the narrative
That has the American flag.
that has the American flag
Soaked in Palestinian blood right now.
soaked in Palestinian blood right now.
They are using this.
They are using this
Just like they are using the United Nations.
just like they are using the United Nations
With its so-called ceasefire resolution.
with the so-called ceasefire resolution
That they will never implement.
that they will never implement
To commit genocide.
to commit genocide
Against my people.
against my people.
How many Palestinian babies?
How many Palestinian babies
Do you need to witness live stream?
do you need to witness live stream
Being killed.
being killed,
Being burned alive.
being burned alive?
How many months of protest?
How many months of protest?
How much Zionist backlash?
How much Zionist backlash?
How much NYPD brutality?
How much NYPD brutality
Do you need to witness?
do you need to witness
To understand.
to understand
That it is our responsibility.
that it is our responsibility
To put an end to this.
to put an end to this?
This is why.
This is why
This exhibit is here.
this exhibit is here.
This is why.
This is why
We see the crackdown on Palestine.
we see the crackdown on Palestine.
Because what we are doing is important.
Because what we are doing is important
And it is working.
and it is working.
They will try to silence us.
They will try to silence us.
We will only get louder.
We will only get louder.
They will try to target us.
They will try to target us.
We will only grow stronger.
Oink, oink, piggy, piggy! Oink, oink, piggy, piggy! We will make your life shitty! We will make your life shitty! Yes, keep moving! Keep going, keep going!
Don't pull him out there. She's stepping on purpose. Kelly, 24973.